Grab the YouTube chat. Chat, back, docs, apply. There you go. Hello, YouTube as well. So where are we? I ended up rewriting a couple of times this Jiggle Bone system. We are at a stage where I am kind of okay with it. But we still have this kind of situations where it's compenetrating. Right? So what we're going to try to do today is something very simple, where we're going to try to see if we can create like a box. You know that we have the hands are compenetrating on this server return. Is it a little bit in this position, sweetie? Did you know this? At the very beginning, that is this hand supposed to go there? Do we break something? We will have to check if we broke something. Well, for now it's broken. I don't know what got broken. Right, okay, so let's go. I'm so thirsty today. Saint 12, hello. Oops. And then if we finish this, we could try to do the, UI, add girl to main screen, to game main screen. Yeah, this. I don't even know what that means. Does it mean that you went for... Is it my streams or you were watching other streams today? What do they mean? Is it my stream? If it is my stream, thank you. I appreciate that. Right, how are we gonna do this? So let's go to Jiggle. Is that mine or yours? Is yours? So somewhere here we will have a pub enum, probably Jiggle collision shape. It's my stream. Well, thank you very much. Well, thank you. Collision shape. So the idea is that this could be a plane. This could be a box. Probably the box is the easiest to go, right? So where we have, so the box is going to be something like center, right? And half size, I suppose. something like that. Right? And then what is happening is that in model, we're going to have a jiggle group collision shapes. Because I imagine that once we create a collision shape for a model, we probably want to use it for every jiggle group. Eventually, a possible optimization for this will be to have some kind of filtering system where in jiggle group we'll say use this, and that. I don't know. I don't know how heavy it's going to be. It shouldn't be that heavy. Especially things like boxes shouldn't really be a big problem, or spheres or something like that. Right. So that's the idea. Right. And then what is happening is that when we do the update for this, so in the update of the jiggle group, we also pass in the colliders. Right. Colliders. Right. It's gonna be a jiggle group collision shape. It is not enough because yeah, so we want to have a bone ID, bone index, whatever. How you tolerate Rust borrow checker for game programming? I like to have singleton everywhere and they work really well. Well, okay, so there are two considerations here. Well, first, if you really, really, really think that the singleton is the solution to your problem, you can have a singleton. For example, in this case, my device in the Vulkan thing, so I have this structure, and this structure I actually treat it as a device. So what I do is, I'm cheating here. So what I'm having this static mutable global variable that I'm accessing through this function, through unsafe. So I understand you. I understand that, there are things in games that work really well as a singleton, and avoid you sending stuff around a lot. For example, I was checking something else from my old code for the sailing game, and it was something similar for the UI sounds, right? So the thing is that if somebody press a button, I want to play a sound in the UI, right? And I don't want to send around the audio engine all the time to all the things that potentially can play a sound. So yes, the borrow checker is there for some things. You can go around it, it's if you dig enough into the Rust type system, you can actually do what you want. Back to Rust again. Are you doing a good cutout with game implementation? Yeah, no, I went through this thing, but I think Rust is my final decision. So it's been a couple weeks or more. So, and the game is definitely moving forward in Rust. So I think we're gonna stay in Rust. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty confident that I'm gonna stay in Rust. So these colliders, I think we also have to send it to the substep. For sure. So colliders go here. So exactly what we did here in the substep. Here, get the colliders. All right. Now the question is, so how we're going to treat this? Because one way would be to have like an implementation of the jiggle collision shape that does something like collide, right? And itself, and then we're gonna need a bunch of bones because we need to grab our matrix, right? Well, let me write it down, and then you know, this is obviously not super, is not optimized at all, right? If it works, then I will think about how to make it. And then as a position, we can what we could do. So we can either send it as a mutable, or we can grab it and then return it. Right? So we match on self. Right? And if it is a box, so this is the thing, is that it means that for every, this is not really, no, this is not really, this is stupid, hold on. Because it means that every time I have to check a particle, I will have to grab the matrix and invert it. No. All right, let's do this. Invert matrix. Right, so somebody, the model, will probably grab this. Right, and the trick here is that we want that thing to be constant through every time we call it, right? So we calculate it once. Okay, so that's already looking much better, because at this point what we can do is we can do a local. The problem is that we need to retranslate it, right? So we're gonna need a matrix, and an inverted matrix, right? We need both of them. Right. So now local position is invert matrix transform point position. Minus, again, do I need the position for the center? Probably yes. What's wrong here? Yep. What's wrong here? Okay. So the idea here is that now that we have this, what we can do is, so if local position X is more than then half size X. Because the thing is that we cannot really check on the absolute value. I really don't want to write 6 conditions here. Because I could do this. Right. And then probably we could have some kind of flag was changed. I could actually probably just check. No, let's do it like this. Let my brain is already thinking about how to make this fast, but I want to make it work, and then we will make it fast if needed. Computers are fast, so. Right, and the idea is that, so if was changed, so if this was changed, we reconvert, right? So we return matrix, transform point, local position. Otherwise, we just return the old position that they sent us, right? Okay, so, I mean, is not the best thing in the world. The nice thing is that we don't need the bones anymore because we have the transforms. So that's good. As professional Java developer, I can tell you that we found ways to make it slow again. Right, so now in substep, so now the question is going to be, when we do, I mean, there is no doubts, right? Because we are doing this for a series of iterations. I think the constraint for the colliders needs to be into the iteration. So we need to do this. So this is our angle constraint, and this is our what is it? Collider constraint, right? So what we do here is that for CC in colliders, hold on. Maybe we can do this before. Do it here. So what we do is self jiggles I pos is cc collide self jiggles I pos. As simple as that. Wow. Okay, so we still need to set the matter. So so update jiggle groups. All right. So before we can update the jiggle groups, there are another couple of situations here. And one situation is all right. I will again. I will make it faster later. So we have to re-update the entire bone. Not ideal. Not ideal. Not ideal. I would really need to find a way to quickly go up a bone hierarchy and only update those. I did that in the jiggle group, but I could also do those. We'll see. We'll see. For now, you know, let me to do optimize this. All right. So here we can do. And obviously I could do it like if self jiggle group collision shape. Right. We only waste this if actually we have collision shapes. Okay. And then we do for CC in self jiggle group collider shape ether mute. Okay. Ah, we don't know the thing. We don't know the thing. Jiggle group collision shape. We need the bone index. So what we do is that CC okay. This is not all right. No. Nope. So jiggle group collision shape. This is not the way. So here we could call jiggle collider. Right, let's simplify a little bit this name. Jiggle collider shape. All right. So the idea is that we got bone index matrix and invert matrix. We have it for everybody, and then we have shape. Right? Okay, that's good. Maybe try Alt up arrow when on a line code. See what Alt up arrow. Alt up arrow. Ah, okay. Okay, I'm not sure. I was doing this. I don't. Ah, you mean so like this, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a super keyboard fool guy, as you can see. So here we're matching on the shape. Okay, that this becomes self. And there was another one here, self. Okay. Anything else? Down here. Good. So what is this? This becomes collider. Collider. Okay. What else? Hold on. Don't understand that one. Ah, okay. Okay. All right. So now that we come back here, so what we really wanted to do here. So here, Jiggle collider. Okay, much better. So CC. What the hell is wrong with you? Yeah. Self Jiggle collider. Stop bothering me. All right. Now you know what CC is? CC is still unknown. Jiggle colliders, right. Jiggle collider. Okay, CC. So matrix is going to be self bones, CC bone index, matrix, word matrix, right? CC invert matrix is gonna be CC matrix invert, and that's it. So we calculate all the inverse matrix for this, blah blah blah. Then we call this. Should work, right? So now the only thing that is left to do is to guess how big the box should be, right? So let's go in the editor. Let's go in the editor. When we load the model, import model from GLTF. All right. So when we create the model, bang. Now we're gonna say model Jiggle colliders push Jiggle collider. Oof, so much stuff. No, fuck Jiggle bone, no. Okay, so bone index is gonna be model data, get, what is it? Bone by name. Bone ID by name. This is gonna be Mixamo rig hips. And we unwrap it, view size. Okay. Matrix is gonna be identity, and the shape is gonna be Jiggle shape box with the center as 0, 0. And half size, here we go. Let's say half meter, 0.25. right? What do you want? Are private, all right, okay. Can I actually do a new? Let's do a new function. So pub fn new, and we pass in bone index, and we pass in a shape. Right, and we return self. We basically copy all this and we do the two matrix identity in here. That's noise. Okay. All right. So this becomes Jiggle Collider new. All right. Okay, that built. Is it going to work? Let's make sure, just to prove that it's actually doing something. Let's say that when we do this, we print it out something. Hey. All right. At least we see if it's hitting something. So we would imagine that when we start right now, in theory, shouldn't touch anything. Okay, no, it's touching. Okay, so the question is, what is touching? Because at the end of the day, it's not really doing anything. Let's print out the local position. Local position before it would have been nice to have the local position before the correction. Let's do it here. X, Y, and my money is on the Z. Hold on, because I'm stupid. If it is less than this, not if it is more. What a fucking idiot. Come on. All right. Oof. Okay. That's not what I was expecting. All right. All right. Let's have a look at this 1 second. Because all of these need to be true at the same time, right? You can see that it's been a long time I didn't write collision code manually without going through an engine, right? Right. Aiming for a Japanese market. That would be nice. That would be nice. Still going completely wild. Oh my god. Should I think I should visualize. We need to visualize the colliders. Otherwise, you know, we're really blind here. So how we're going to do that? How we're going to do that? So where is it? Where is it? Here. Basically show skeleton. Okay, so here it is. All right. Okay. Let's jiggle colliders. 4 cc in model jiggle colliders there. So let's render these in, I'm out of color, green. And how are we gonna render this? I could render it as a cross for now, GL cross 3D with the center in. Right, I need to get this stuff public. Jiggle collider, so we need all this stuff to be public. So I need this matrix and I need this guy. Right, so matrix, transform point, CC, match, CC shape. Right, so if it is a box, center, yeah, center, and off size. Fair enough. Can I ask you something about the AC rally? You can try. No, go for it. If it's something that I know, I can answer without, you know, showing up tomorrow with an article on myself on Overtake. I will. On Reddit. Ah, Stefano said this. All right, so this is the, whoa, that's huge. Okay, so it still doesn't justify the reaction that we're getting. Right. Let's make the box smaller to start with. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. All right, so now nothing is happening. Fine. So let's go into the wait return. Of course course, the cross is not following the matrix of the thing. Ah, okay. And also this one. Okay, so we're only changing the x. That's why it's broken. All right. So how are we gonna do this? Fuck. I'm just going if there any intersection of physics with AC Evo at all, and if not, does it go? Is the answer is honestly I don't know, because the development was completely is a completely different team, and you know, in the period that I was there, we hardly talk about AC Rally other than, you know, I tried it one time and I was like, wow, this is fantastic. Well, actually, I tried it with the gamepad, so I don't even know what's the situation with the physics. So I really don't know. They told me that, you know, in theory they started from our physics, but the reality is that I don't know. I never seen the source code. It's a completely different team, and you know, we had enough on our hand to think about than exploring AC Rally. So I really don't know. No idea. I still haven't tried it with the steering wheel, so I don't even know if it's good or not. Here we can do like a right. I think they had these conversations way before I went back, so I really don't know. All right, is it gonna work? Okay, I think it's working. Still super violent. It kind of slams the. But you can kind of see the box. You can see where the box is, right? So now the box is a little bit. It kind of. I guess these days you're not getting deep into tennis ball modeling on clean grass. I am getting deep. Yeah, I mean the tennis part of the game. I'm already kind of happy where we are. So right now I'm concentrating a lot more on the character and UI, because I really want to understand what kind of level we can reach there. Which is obviously a tall order. We need to understand, you know, where we are with the technology, the renderer, and so on. You know, obviously we would like to have something like we're doing some experiment with models from other games running into the engine. So yeah, obviously we would like to get somewhere here somehow. Yeah, we'll see. So these couple of weeks for me is a lot of UI work and sorting out all these things, especially this hair movements, eventually body parts movement. The game is working, so I should work. I can launch it. Probably the hair now are gonna go crazy, but the thing is that, you know, there are a lot of questions. There are a lot of things to do on the tennis part, but if every time I think about them, it's like I have it's like my brain kind of knows the solution already. So I feel a little bit more safe on this side, considering that this is also a couple of weeks of work. Right, so, you know, the hair is still going crazy when we change the position of the character, but, you know, I have the solution to that. While when it comes to things like, especially the things that I'm doing right now with the hair animation, those are things that are never done before. So it's really important for me to clarify my head about it. What I can actually do with it. Didn't you write this in? Yes. Yeah. No, that's correct. So I started in Jai. So I worked for a couple of weeks in Jai. Got to a stage, you know, if you want to see where we were. So I wrote it like 3 times. Yeah, so this is the Jai version, doing the same thing. The difference is, well, the hair not moving. The girls are doing noises with the mouth when they hit the ball. But pretty much that's it. Then I did it again in Godot. And then a couple of weeks ago I decided I want to do it in Rust and went back to that. Genshin badminton. My wife will be happy. She likes badminton. I don't know anything about badminton. I know about tennis, but badminton, no. This, okay. I know why this is wrong. Oh my gosh. All right. Let's do it like this. ABS. Right, and then we move this signum calculation out. I think this should solve our problem. I want to get you volleyball with multiplayer. That's you know, I was talking about this. Like, volleyball is like the very first thing that I did when I was a kid, and I started to try to do a game with graphics. All the stuff that I did before were all like text stuff. So the first thing that actually looked like a game was a volleyball game. but it wasn't really a game because you couldn't play it. It was all was I was when I was a kid I was really into manager games, so it was more like about the stats of the players and so on. So you will just look and watch, sit and watch. Still not doing it. All right, let's the Jiggle fish the dead or alive. I don't think we're going for that kind of size. We will see. I think we were watching some YouTube videos as a reference. It's very surprising how violent the response is. And how it went into the collider. Pretty big. This is not let's see the first collision that we get. Well, this is a huge collision here, for example. How is that possible? I think that's one of our problems at the moment. The fact that is we could let's try to see what happens if we kind of do like a slow correction. Instead of a very violent one. Okay, that's to be honest with you, I was really expecting this to be much easier. If I have to be completely honest. So I wonder if well, obviously I hope we have a bug, because if we have a bug, it's an easy fix. It's cool because it's going. Now I increase the box a little bit, so it's kind of staying on the shoulder, which is kind of cute. But it's really unstable. It's really unstable. You don't want to have to draw the, you don't want to have to draw the collision shape. Yeah, maybe I should. You're happy that I didn't buy into the vibe coding. Yeah, I still enjoy doing it. So these numbers here are correct. The way it's correcting is correct. Although this one, yeah, the way it's correcting now is correct. It's a bit suspicious we don't have negative numbers. It's a little bit suspicious we don't have negative numbers, but so the next question, are we sure that this is correct? I think it is. Right. Boon index. I mean, this must be correct, right? So, does Kunos use a lot of AI coding assistants? As far as I know, nobody does in Kunos. As far as I know. Boon index 2, which is correct, right? Self bones 2 hips. All right. Matrix, word matrix. Will sound correct to me. So the question is, am I doing something stupid here? So we get into the constraint, go into this. I don't know. Is it a matter of increasing the time step? Which is not really something that I would like to do, but let's see what happens. Let's see what happens if we go to 6 milliseconds. I really thought it was going to be easier. We could also, hold on, I think probably we could also increase the so decreasing the time step doesn't really help that much, but we might have some result increasing iterations. Nope. No, it gets this. I think I know what is the problem. Because the moment, okay, I think I know what is the problem. because the moment it goes inside the box, it tries to solve the entire collision. And that's not how we should do this. I don't think we should do it with a point. We shouldn't do it with a point in a box. I think we should do it a sphere to plane kind of collision. I wonder if Rapier has an easy way to do this. I wonder if instead of wasting time doing it myself, I wonder if Rapier has something that could help me. Like what we will need is some kind of... So do I have something for shapes here? Let's have a look. Create collider. Okay, so that's a collider builder. Collider. Can I collide with another thing without having to go through all these things? Collision group, compute ABP, compute collision. Maybe shape? Pairs, contact pairs. It would be nice to be able to do like collide two shapes on demand. Intersection with shape methods which return no collider query pipeline. But is there a Rust rate for shape, 3D shape intersection? Parry, high performance open source collision detection library supporting 2D and 3D shapes. Constructors that perform Boolean operations. If I remember, Parry is same as basically it's coming from the same group as the documentation. Shape. This is basically, I think, exactly the thing that I see in because I bet, if I remember correctly, basically cuboid, we end up in Parry, don't we? It's still rapier. Cuboid. Parry. Okay, so basically that's what internally that's what's using. That's what Rapier is using, so that's what the fake engine is using. It still doesn't really have well, definitely if I have to use this, it's gonna take me quite a long time to figure it out. Because if I want to write it myself, sphere box collision. I don't understand. What is this? The closest point to a sphere. Jiggle is one of the things I was Copilot for. Is your pseudo still just your wife and me. Yes. Yeah, that's correct. Army of two. Yeah. Because our problem is really not to just we also need to send it out. Let's do something for today. Let's say that instead of doing all this, I really want to solve this. Because I think in order to solve this, I will have to solve it one face at a time, or at least maybe I can do. So I can do the Z faces. Because the thing is, if we're using a sphere, because we need like what we need is more like a distance from a box. Point distance to a it's doing this thing again. I think this could do what we need, right? It's just that we have center and size, but that's not the problem, right? So for now, what we can do is we could do like box min. So box min is going to be center minus half size, right? And let box max is going to be center plus half size. So that's easy. All right. Then it want us to do this. All right, so you're telling me that this is the closest position inside the box. And then I can calculate the distance like this. But this was actually local pos. Right. So let this 2 is CP CP minus local pos length squared. All right. Now, if this 2 is minus, let's say that our sphere is going to be 1 centimeter, right? So let's say that radius is going to be 0.01, right? So radius, right? Then we fix it. Okay, how we fix it? I think we need to solve the actual distance. So it's going to be this 2 square root. Okay. And then we probably just push the local position by the distance. No, hold on. Okay, so that's the distance. So we need the direction that we need to move this thing into, right? Which is this is from local pos to CP, right? So let oh fuck me, let diff is this. It is just this. Okay. Diff divided by distance. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe to work. No idea. It's completely destroyed. Something went none. Okay, what's going on here? Something went none. All right, let's do this. Let's do hold on. But no, hold on. Hold on. Stop. Let's do it like this. Is not. Let's print out what's happening. Local boss. It's interesting that it's doesn't work at all. It's not correcting anything. Why not to make a cloth simulation? I suppose you have to do well. It's very similar to a cloth simulation. The math. So at the end, this get into this, right? And this is simulated with a series of points. So it's very similar to that's basically the base of how you would do a cloth simulation. I think it's working now. I think it's working. Haha. Kind of. Hard. Yeah, I think so. You can see that there is a box here, exactly where her neck is. So if we make the box higher, I really need to be able to see those collisions. If it works, I'm gonna do this. Okay, but now it's way more stable. So now the box is moving higher. The point is that probably the box is too much at the back. So at the end, we want to completely avoid to in that direction. Still doing that. So from that point of view, is not really working. It's not really working. Is how the box. We need to draw the box there. I tried to reverse psychology, but well, Looking at the necks and the shoulder, you tried the reverse psychology, but you forgot. Oh my god, what did I forget? You might have to up the point density. I don't know. I don't know, but I need to draw that box properly, because otherwise we're not going to be able to figure this thing out. So where are we doing this? All right, so we need a proper function here. Right, so we need a proper function to, let's call it box wire free, and we want to pass in a matrix and then we want to pass in the center and the size, half size. Right, and we can transform these. So let's center is going to be matrix transform point center, and size is going to be matrix transform point half size. Let's call it half size, because I don't come back here 3 years from now wondering. Okay, and then we're going to do vertex 3f, center plus half size no, it's gonna be way worse than this. It's gonna be center. So let's do the Z part first. No, this is gonna be minus half size. Oh, this is gonna be a lot of stuff, a lot of. All right, so that's gonna be for sure we have this. For sure we have this. That's easy. So this is the bottom quad. I must have a. No, I have a. Okay. Patience, patience. All right. So we've done the two like this. Then we have to do 1 minus 2 like this. Right. And or 2 positive like this. And this should give us the bottom quad. Right. So let's try to give it a try. So instead of this, we do this, and we pass in the matrix, and we pass in the center and the half size. See how it looks like. Let's do the top quad. It's going to be exactly the same. But with this. Okay. And then I imagine we're going to need, so we got the, so we're going to need 4 more lines. So the first is going to be from, so it's going to be, all right. Support lines, right? It's going to be like this. And it's going to be like this. And it's going to be like this. And then it's going to be like this. And this should be our box, I think. All right. That's a huge box. That's that can't be right. Cannot be right. That can never be right. How is it possible? Ah. All right. Am I doing the same mistake also in the thing? I wonder. All right, that's more like the box that we have, right? That's more like it. Okay. Am I doing the same mistake in here? No, not really. Right. So now when she moves, the box should move. Right. Still not great to understand, but at least we understand what. So what we were saying, it's obvious that it's not working. Oh my god, that's not what I was expecting. What's going on here? Oh my lord. Oh, fuck me. What's going on in there? That was really unexpected. That's not really what I was noticing. Well, am I sure I don't want to use AI? Yeah. Yeah, what the fun will be. What? It's like it's not getting transformed. It's not getting. I really don't understand, boys. I don't get it. I don't get it. How is possible that we are seeing what we are seeing? Unless this guy is not moving. let's have a look at let's have a look at why there are so many people. Well, it's obviously the thing of the moment, and you can understand the fascination, right? It's people that don't want to put work, and they imagine a world that it's not impossible that is going to happen. That we're gonna be in a world where you sit at your computer and you say, "Oh, I would like this, do it," and it will do it. I'm not an expert, so I don't know, but you can understand the fascination. It's all these people that cannot really do anything, and the AI gives them keeps the dream alive. They can do what they're not able to do. So in theory, this thing should move. Yeah, it does move. But then why is this thing not following it? I'm being particularly stupid, I think. Yeah, I am being particularly stupid because what I need to do is to transform all this stuff. Right? So you moron. Right? So we need to basically do this. Right, let me do it with the... No, I cannot. So we have to basically do this for every point here. Which obviously shows that because we are drawing so many points, we are really like doing it for too many. Hold on. Let's do this properly, right? Because at the end of the day, we just need 8 points, right? So for this is gonna be 1 point. Right? So this is gonna be the other point. This is gonna be the other point. This is gonna be what are we missing? Minus plus. All right. And these actually are the bottom. Bottom. Right? So when we come here, we do vertex from B0 to B1. Right? Then we continue like this. From B1 to B2. From B2 to B3. From B3 to back to B0. All right. And then we do the top part where the same, but it's all positive. And it's basically this. Oh, what are you talking about? True, it could come true, but the question is in itself means, did you not consider using AI as if there is someone who has... right, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Yeah. Well, I think it's just trying to make a point that, you know, it's fine. It really doesn't matter. It's right, okay. I think, okay, let me check that is working, that is moving as, all right, now it's doing it, right? Okay. Now let me draw the other 4 things that we're missing. So what are we missing? We're missing, basically we're missing T0 to B0, right? Like that. Right. T1 to T1, T2 to T2. Actually, you know, if you think about it, what I'm doing right now, exactly what I did right now, probably the Copilot would have written it like straight away. So all right, here we go. So now we see our box. All right, now the box is moving like we expect. Okay, so it's following the hip, right? But this thing still doesn't work at all. So for now, it's completely not really. And let me check the correction. The correction is also totally wrong, right? Because we are from... like, it's not even correcting. So, I have a feeling that I need to... what do you say? Do you say, you know, eat the humble... is it the humble pie? Is it? Eat the humble pie, admit one fault to make a humiliation apology. Yeah, and figure out how to use rapiers to do this properly. Let's have a look at the code one more time. It's interesting because we went from what... the problem with this thing, and this is something that actually can tell a lot about the AI, is like the problem with this entire code is that I copy this and I don't understand it. I don't understand exactly what is happening. Why is that the closest point? I don't understand it. Però hold on. I shouldn't do this. That was a problem. Let's see if it makes a difference. Not really. Not really. And it's not even a problem of I don't understand. I wonder if I should give up the idea of boxes and I should go straight to spheres. Spheres are very easy to, it's a little bit annoying because we will need tons of spheres. But I wonder if a sphere could be a better... Because you can imagine that if we put like a sphere on the neck, a couple of spheres on the shoulder, and a sphere down here, it kind of, you see, it kind of does something, but then it gets really confused when give me one more try reducing that box, try to get it at the shoulder level, because I'm happy if the hair fall on the shoulder. It looks absolutely awesome. The box is completely... it looks to me like he's doing something. Doesn't look like he's ignored. It looks to me like he's doing something. Yeah, you see, like this is doing something super weird right now. No, but then at a certain point it decides to fall into. But like this is kind of doing something weird, but I have a feeling that, yeah, really probably the box is not the best. But now, what I don't understand is like the bottom is kind of really falling into it, like. I have a feeling that the sphere is going to be a much better solution. Anyway, let's do this. Let's forget about this for 1 second. And let's put the girl in the main menu. and then I will think about this. So let's close all this. Close all. Let's go to launcher. All right. So the launcher, we're gonna need model ID. Is it gen ID? Gen ID. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna load. So let's get the copy from the player avatar. So basically we do this. We don't need to do this anymore. Okay, so we do this. Whoops. Okay. Port. Then we need a scene. We have a scene, but not yet. All right. So let mutable scene. Yep. Okay, and this down here is it's gonna be scene. Right. Scene create model game VR, and we need a texture store. Texture store new. Okay. Default. Okay, texture store. What else? Ah, we have already a texture store. All right. And then model ID. Okay. 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 And okay. Right. And then we need to set the camera. And to do that, we could do scene camera is model cameras model data cameras 0. Okay. I should be able to see the girl. Nope. Probably because we are covering it with the form. All right, so let's grab the form, which is what? Form. Where is the form? Then is forms test. Background. All right, there you go. Yeah. All right, we see the girl. And so the idea, what we want to do is basically this, right? So we want to go like
just point the way.
Animation, and then the user will click something, boom, change camera, animation. then boom, change camera, animation. Right? That's what we want to do. Right? So the first question is, do we have the cameras? Let's run the animation and then we'll move on with the camera. So okay, so let's be a little bit more organized, right? So let's create something that is called player UI avatar, right? And it's gonna have model ID. It's gonna be a bunch of cameras. Right, for sure, right? And then we're gonna have an implementation of this player UI avatar. It's gonna have a function new. For sure, it's gonna need a renderer. It's gonna need a scene. And it's gonna need a texture store. And it's gonna return self, right? So we're gonna grab this code from here. And we're gonna put it in somewhere here, right? And instead of having a model, we're gonna have a player. Player UI avatar. All right. And the idea is that we do, so we don't do this yet. We do let player avatar is player avatar new, and we pass game renderer. No, the scene first. We pass the scene. Ah shit, I delete the code to create the scene. Whatever. And then we pass the texture store. Right. Let mute scene is scene new. All right. Okay. And here we put player avatar. All good. And we need to fill up this camera. So, okay, so this one is RDR, this one is textures. Goes away. Then we return self. And self is gonna have the model ID and the model data cameras. Can I just take ownership? Yes, I can. No, I can't. I can't. This is graphics camera. So yeah, and this is going to be, I need to map it. So iter map, and we're gonna ignore the name, and we're gonna get the camera. I'm gonna return the camera. Collect. What did I miss? Cannot be built from emulator. Or hold on, I can just do this. All right, okay, so I can do that, and that means that it should do exactly the same as it did before. Yes, because we didn't put the camera. So scene camera equal model data cameras 0. All right. Okay. Cool. Okay. So let's get a player. Player animation player. Okay. And let's have an update. And we pass in. I think eventually we're going to need the scene if we want to change the camera. But for sure we're going to need the DT. Let's do this for now. All right, so let mutable player is a new animation player. Why I have this default instead of new? All right. Player set animation. Some. Okay, we need to create all the animations that we're gonna need. So again, it's gonna be very similar to what we do with the player avatar here. So the player avatar here, how does it work? Okay, all right, I understand. All right, so let's say that we're going to have animations. It's gonna be a vector of animations. All right, how are we gonna create this? Okay, create this animations is going to be model animation data, which is vector of animations, no? Yeah. Iter map animation new animation data. Okay. And model bones. Okay. And RC new. All right. And the idea is that the problem is we don't know which animation it is. So I remember I did something here. Find animation. Animation new. Find animation. Okay. Where is this? Ah, it's a local function. Ah, fuck me. The problem is that Struct player UI animations. Right. So jumping jacks RC animation. All right, so instead of doing this, we're gonna do player UI animations. Jumping jacks is going to be nstd new animation new animation data, find animations data, jumping jacks. Was it jumping jacks? That's the only question that I have. Then we have, okay. Yes, and you want the bones, right? So you want the animation and the bones. Yeah, of course you do. Model bones, right? Model bones, right? So this becomes animations, jumping jacks clone, and this becomes animations. Oh my gosh. What? Why mutable? Why would you want a mutable reference? Why? Why you want a mutable? Was I doing something in here? I was changing something in the animation. I was doing the okay. Fuck. All right. All right. No problem. No problem. No problem. We'll just make this mutable. It's not a problem. All right. Okay. What do you want? Player. Right. Okay. Right. All right. All good. Still nothing, but I hope that's the name of the animation. I'm not sure. Let's see if we're crashing. No, still okay. Let's play it. So now the idea is that self player play. Immute self model model bones, and we need to grab this model. That model is self yeah, we need the scene. So scene is mutable scene. So scene get scene models, get mute self model ID. We unwrap it. Okay. That should work. In the update, self player avatar update, immute self scene, and game time DT. And we should get jumping jacks. All right. So what we want to do now is, let's do that when I change the match mode. We're gonna switch the camera and switch animation. So nothing that complex. We're gonna switch the animation. Let's switch it brutally, because I don't remember if the player, yeah, I'm not doing any blending here. So all right, so we're gonna add the blend after that. So the first thing though is that we need another camera, and we need to choose another animation. So let's see. So cameras. So this is our first camera. Let's see that for the second thing we go down here, like almost upskirt, right? And we'll reduce. Ah shit! Fuck me. I fuck it up. Let's do it again. So what we need to do is add camera. This interface is not really that great. Okay. Add camera, yeah, like this, right? And then we set from view, boom, okay. Then we save, and in theory now we have two cameras, right? So the idea is that we might have some kind of, you know, a player UI sequence where basically we have an animation, right? And we have a camera. And jumping jacks, and so we could be training is a player UI sequence, right? And then match is another match we cannot use. I cannot use the word match. So how can I call a tennis match? Tennis game is confusing because, you know, obviously a game is not a match. Let's call it sequence match for now. There's nothing we can do. are much. I mean, what does this thing do? Does it have a special meaning? No, right? It's still just a name. Allow you to use keywords, right? But I still have to write this every time, right? What is this supposed to do? It's for raw strings, so it's not really, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Let's call it sequence match. Okay, so the way this works is that probably we don't need the cameras anymore, right? So the training is going to be a player UI sequence, right? Where this is the animation, right? And then when you're gonna use model data cameras 0. Okay. And then we're gonna have sequence match with player UI sequence. And we're gonna need to choose another animation and another camera. Okay, so camera 1. All right. Animation. Okay, we don't need these cameras anymore. Okay. And now what we can do, we can say, current animation index, right? Yeah, it looks, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, let's choose 1 second. Let's choose an animation for the other one. Let's do the loser. So it's going to be either this one. Actually, we're also going to do something. We're going to get rid of the racket, right? So let's do also this. So let's choose the yawn. So let's have like training is like, she doesn't want to do it, right? And the match is like, oh yes, let's go. Okay, let's do this. Okay. So when we're here, we're gonna switch the camera. Okay, so let's do it brutally for now. So let's do 1 second. So let's do scene camera is self animations. Ah, fuck. Okay. So instead of having these, let's have a more sequences. Just let's do it like this. So the index makes sense, right? So this, instead of this, it becomes a vec. So sequences becomes a vec with this and this. Cool. All right. And this becomes sequences 0. Cool. So scene camera is gonna be self animations sequences, self animation currency index, whatever, camera. All right. So the idea is that every time we change this, we grab this and we say self player avatar animations current animation index is spinner selected index. And this should, if this event is coming, which I don't remember, we should see the camera change. Yeah. Yeah, the camera is changing. All right. Very well. Camera is changing, but the animation is not changing. Let's see how we can remove the racket. Now we have a couple of ways to remove the racket. Obviously this, all this stuff that I'm doing right now will have to be coded somewhere into a data file for a player. Right now it's all hard coded. But the idea is that we can either get rid of these two objects, right? So I think that's easy enough, right? So let's go to the player. When we create the player, right? What we're going to do is we're going to hide racket, right? Going to go for mesh into model data. Not sure if we have the is visible here. I hope we do. Fuck, we don't have it here. Right. So it means I will have to do it in the model. Right. So I will have to do it here. Visible equals false. And I'm not sure cannot, sorry. Not sure if it's casting shadows, but we don't have anything to cast shadows to, so but the racket should disappear. Why? Ah, because it's a skin mesh. There you go. All right. So racket is gone. Is it casting a shadow? Yes, it is. I think the racket is casting a shadow. Yeah. All right. So we also need to do. It makes sense because you can have an object that is visible, but it's only casting a shadow, and vice versa. All right. So this should be okay. Okay. So what we want to do is, so now we want to have a sense of transition, right? So what we want to do is we want to set next sequence index usize. Okay, so what we want to have here, we want to have a concept of a transition, right? So sequence transition is gonna be from, to, and time. All right. So transition gonna be an option of sequence transition. Transition. All right. Okay. So we start with nothing. When we set this, we do self transition is going to be some sequence transition from wherever we are right now, animation, current animation index, or this really should be current sequence. Right. To the new sequencing index, and the time we will go like we'll decrease time, right? So let's say it's going to take us half a second to transition. Fair enough, right? And here, instead of just setting the index, we're going to say self player avatar set next sequence. Yes. Okay. I'm not sure that I want to do the time backward. Let's do it from 0 to 1 so I can change the speed in one place. All right, so what we do here. So here we do match on the transition. No, and we don't need a match. We can do a let sum. So if let sum transition is self transition as mute. Okay. So if we have a transition, if we don't have a transition, we just do this. Okay. If we have a transition, we have to find the blend. So the blend is like where we are in the transition. That is going to be tr time divided by half a second. And we can do like, what was it? Smooth step. Okay. So that's our blend. And what we can say is that scene camera matrix is going to be a lerp. I don't remember how it works this. Is it? So let's do like let sequence 0 is going to be our self animations sequences tr from, and s1 is going to be tr2. Okay. Now s0 camera matrix lerp with s1 camera matrix with a blend of blend. Right. Then we do tr time plus equal dt. Okay. And then if tr time is more than, hold on, tr yeah, that's okay. So if tr time is more than this, okay, so we need to do something a little bit weird here, because I cannot assign to transition. So what I have to do is self transition equal this, right? And if we finish the transition, we return none. Otherwise, we return some and a copy of tr, basically, right? And here we're returning none. A little bit weird, but you need to deal with Rust. What's wrong here? Cannot move out of this. Yes, okay. Where are you? Sequence transition, where are you? Derive, copy and clone. There you go. Okay. That looks okay. So I think if this works, we should see, instead of the camera moving like that, we should see a camera, instead of jumping, but a move. Okay, it worked. Okay. We need to do something else. So when we finish, we have to self animations current sequence index equal tr2. Right. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Ciao, bike keeper. All right. I can do this all day. All right. Okay. Now, animations. Can I play this animation in here? There is a jumping in the end. There is. Is it? Yeah, this one. Why is that? Why is that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let's print out quickly what we're seeing with the blends. Ah, hold on. I think it's because of this. Is it? I think it's because of I moved that play, so the animation is stopping at a certain point. Is it? No, it really does a weird. Is it my smooth step? Is my smooth step function fucked up? Yeah, it's my smooth step for whatever reason. My smooth step is not smoothing. Why is that? Smooth step. I have no clue. So it's actually doing a saturate already, so we don't need to do this. Saturate here. Super weird. Anyway, don't care. I will check it. Good eye. Good eye that you got it. Let me put it to do here. To do animation same to jump at the end because of smooth step. Okay. We want to blend the animations now. So what we want to do is basically animation, apply JVR animation. Fuck me. Animation player. Apply a time. And we apply our first animation. So we apply self animations sequences tr from animation 1 mute model bones, and the time is gonna be self animations player, no, self player time. For me, it looks like we don't reach the sequence index of TR and we are jumping to in maybe we can print the current sequence. Maybe another way to do this success, instead of this TR time, we could check the blend. If blend is 1, we are done. I think this might work. Let's check it very quickly, because I think that could be a good way to do it. If that's what you're saying, like, you know, it doesn't reach 1. Ah, fuck you. There seems to be something. There's something in this function that is not functioning. It's either there or in the blend, but all right. So now we apply that. Because here what we want to do is self player set animation, and the new animation is going to be some self animation sequences is so long tr2 animation. Okay, and I imagine it puts the time to 0. Doesn't put the time to 0. It really should. Okay. Okay, and let's finish the blend, and I think we're done. Then we go here, we do the other animation, 2 animation, and our weight is gonna be blend. All right. Maybe it will work. Yes. Very cool. Nice. Let's fix that camera. Second camera is basically looking into the floor. And that's the problem. You know, the reason why that happens is because of this. This is giving us a false idea of where we are. Oops. Okay. And then obviously we need to move these buttons out of the way. So I will have to find how to deal with this, right? How this should be. Like, we really don't want to have the buttons here. Should put some sound effect. We have like a the idea is that this this background back here, it's a 3D model, right? So this stuff moving at the back, it's a 3D model. So we need some kind of floor so we can get the shadow. And this kind of stuff is 3D. So basically when we move the camera, all the stuff will move. And here's like, she's completely the center. This is super cool, this part here. Because it just matches, and they have this beautiful... What is it? They have this beautiful... So I think this yellow at the bottom is 3D model. And then the UI is built on the top. You know, there is absolutely no way we can do this. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely breathtaking. It would look cool on the top of a tennis court. Yeah, that's true. I don't know if I want to have a tennis court also in here. You know, I don't know if I want something completely... I just love this part, you know, with the face at the back of the character. So I don't want the... I don't know if I want something... because if it's... Yeah, because otherwise it's like... It's like tennis court all the way, you know, for the entire game. At the beginning, I was thinking more it could be like a changing room or something like that. If it has to be like a real 3D environment. If it has to be like a real 3D environment, it could be like a changing room or something. It's very annoying, this thing that the smooth. Smooth step. Smooth step function. Three minus two. How hard could it be? I don't see any. So when this is almost 1, is 1 by 1 multiplied by 1. No idea. Will there be any physics control innovation for the tennis genre in this game, like musical stellar modeling, for example? No. No. Definitely not. Definitely not. I still, honestly, I still don't know. That's why I'm pushing so much on the UI, and the and the modeling also, the hair and so on, because I need to understand. I need to understand what kind of level we can reach from that point of view, because obviously, when it comes to balancing the tennis match part with the rest of the game, it's very important, because if we can reach a good level when it comes to UI, changing the character, changing the clothes and so on, then it's one style of game potentially. If we cannot do that, then we will have to push much harder on the tennis part of it. So at the moment, I still don't know exactly what game is this. Still no idea. But that UI looked a little bit too bright. Where is our clear color? But hold on. Why is the hair not working? No, it is working. It looks very... Hold on 1 second. In the editor, when she does the jumping jacks, the hair are moving a lot. Yeah, the hair are moving way more. And we have the box, likely is not hitting the box. So why in the game is not doing that? What am I missing here? What am I missing here? Jiggle collider 0, but we have the jiggles. and it's active. So why? Is it just me? Is it an unlucky camera angle that we don't see the... The way they are moving are very different from... Ah, hold on. I know why. I know what's going on. I'm not setting the delta T on the scene, am I? Yep. 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 There you go. Now the hair are moving. What a difference. What a difference. Alrighty. Okay. I think it's good enough for today. It's been a long stream, eh? We're streaming, what, 3 hours? Yeah, exactly 3 hours. All right, I think it's time to move on. Yeah, I'll probably be around this weekend doing some more UI stuff. I think the objective is to get the equivalent of what I had for Hydrofall generation. Yeah, so basically write this program, and it's a program that basically it visualizes the UI, is looking at this file, right? And if I make a modification on the file, like boat 55, I save, it reloads. And this allows me to work on the UI and faster, right? Than just write the code and this is the old engine in DirectX 11. So I will have to rewrite this with the new rendering engine. I have no idea how long it's going to take me. Shouldn't be that long, but yeah, that's my weekend plan. So it's gonna be easier to move this stuff around and try to understand what we want to do with this. Right now, there isn't really much that we can do, honestly. I mean, I can put these buttons out of the way somewhere here, but I don't have the... I could try to model something in Blender to look like, you know, something, you know, like this kind of background that moves around. That's a possibility. Well, you know, as far as code is concerned, you know, I got the transition, I got the thing, so I really don't know what I can do. I could do simple things like change skin color. Can make like South Park. Choose your difficulty level. We could change skin color, hair color, but we can't really do much more. So I don't know. I will have to, but for sure, you know, a couple of days for the editor or the UI are needed, and it's going to be all an investment that will pay later. Anyway, What I'm using Vulkan for the new engine. So if it wasn't hard enough, if it wasn't hard enough to do everything to do the engine, I also went to the Vulkan route, which yeah, it's not great. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for hanging around, and I will see you around probably this weekend. Ciao, ciao, ciao.